Hey everyone, and welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And I don't feel like doing this. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get someone in the frame.
Well,
then they can sit here and I can leave. And then they can sit someone, they can leave for every 5 minutes.
This was already done, man. Like, they did this back in 1962, man.
Yeah.
The Russians, they did all the research for this in 41.
Oh, yeah. Is that around the time they faked the moon landing?
No, we're all living on the moon, man.
Oh, shoot.
We already colonized like half of space.
Oh, my gosh. But here we're going to talk about 1990 or 1991.
Yeah, it's one of the early 90s.
Yeah,
Slacker!
Not Slackers.
Yeah, no. Not Slackers. I've seen both, but not that one.
Slacker.
By Richard Linklater.
Yeah,
it's one of his first films.
One of his first films. I looked on Wikipedia. It's his first major film. Let's be real. He had
it's the one he's known for.
He had another one before that, but
it's probably a student film.
Yeah. Yes. So this is a movie that is one of the big booms of independent films in the '90s. It inspired people like Kevin Smith to do Clerks and a bunch of other people.
I put this as one like Dazed and Confused, where it's just one of those. It's one of those 90s movies about apathy coming out of the 80s.
Yes.
It's exactly what this movie is.
And I watched the little backstory. I watched this when I was 15. After 20 minutes, I turned it off. I hated it.
Yeah.
15 years later, I still don't really like it that much.
Oh, man, I love this movie.
Really?
I do.
I
can understand if you only watched the first few minutes. Because the Rich Linklater part?
Oh no, I stopped at when the guy's robbing the house. Or emptying the house. I didn't get what he was doing there. Was he robbing the house?
Oh.
Linklater's character.
Linklater?
No, not Linklater. It looks like Linklater. The guy with the camo shirt.
Oh, no, that was his house. he had just ran over his mom.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, is it his mom's house that he was
living in?
Like he was stealing from his mother? I couldn't figure out what that was going on. But that's where I stopped when I was 15. You know, when you're a teenager, like, I don't care. But almost 15 years later,
It's surprising that if you didn't care, you didn't like this movie.
I appreciate it a little more than I did back then.
Okay.
I understand the appeal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's a meandering movie.
It's hard
to say the least.
I like movies that have some sort of direction. Uh-huh. Like we covered on Mike Leigh's Naked, which has similar tones of this movie of like a rambling character talking about just existential things. But it kind of had a plot going on with it. It's a weird plot with like a weird rapist guy. But it had like a kind of way to go. Clerks is another way where it just kind of rambles a lot, but it has a general direction. This one doesn't.
Yeah, it's... This is much more of like a... I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. It's almost like a character study, but like looking at different people of a similar age group.
Yeah.
And kind of similar feelings towards what's happening.
And a lot of it... the first 10 minutes of the movie has... it kind of tells you how the movie's going to be. Basically, everyone that's talking and rambling and just talking, they say an action, but they don't do an action. Like, you have Richard Linklater just keeps talking and talking and talking and talking, and then the only person that's doing action in the shot is the taxi driver who's actually doing an action driving. Mm-hmm. But then you get to, like, when the mother gets run over. Mm-hmm. You have a girl's like, oh my god, we're gonna call someone, and a guy's like, oh, I gotta go. I'll help, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then another guy comes up, oh, like, what's this? And she's like, go call this person.
Yeah.
Call the cops or whatever. It's like, oh, you dropped your groceries, and no one in that scene has done any action. They're just like, it's the idea of a slap. We're not gonna do it.
Well, and that's why I feel like this is kind of, it's that late 80s, early 90s, post-Reaganomics, malaise, apathy, and just disenfranchisement of like a whole generation.
Yeah.
And I think it just really sums up, and like that scene, like kind of encapsulates all these like everybody's saying to do something, but nobody does anything.
Yeah. Except for the only character that really has a real action is I can't remember her name. She's still in the Pap Smear. She's on the cover. She's the drummer of Butthole Surfers.
One of the drummers.
Yes. She's going out and doing something.
You don't really follow her.
You don't. You'll follow anyone.
No. But if you pay attention, when you are watching, so you start with Richard Linklater.
Yes.
And you get to the taxi, and you follow him, and he spouts all his existential nonsense in his dreams.
And he's just down at the bus station.
And then when the woman's hit by the car, when something happens, you follow that scene until you see the car again pull up. And then you follow her son who ran her over.
Yeah.
And then from there it's Quentin Tarantino-like.
It's like handing the baton.
Yeah, they just move from scene to scene by following whatever particular character, and then something happens, and they're amongst another group of people, and it follows a different person.
Yeah.
So like from there, you follow somebody who was going home, and they find out that one of the roommates is gone. And then the one guy who comes in and asks for the room, you follow him.
Yeah.
And then from him, you meet the Madonna Pap Smear seller and that other girl, and you just kind of keep meandering through and following these different people. It's a lot like Do the Right Thing without a set cast.
Yes.
Where it just keeps moving from one character to the next and just following them along this day.
Yeah.
And I always really liked it. It's very naturalistic. And even for not being a plot-heavy movie, it's a movie that really captures setting and tone and kind of the atmosphere of the area. Like, all these people, they have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, every single person you end up following, they have nothing better to do. They're just trying to wander their way through the day.
Through life.
And, yeah.
And then you have this whole idea of, like, there's a lot of, like, tone, like, a lot of, they're pushing a lot of things, like a lot of agendas going on. Like,
well, it's a lot of, like, government mistrust and just understanding that, hey, man, we're already fucked.
Yeah.
Let's just do what we want.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how most of the characters feel. A lot of them are almost anarchist in a way.
And numb. Maybe sometimes numb. Just like
when the guy breaks into the older man's house with the daughter.
Yeah. And
they come home and he threatens him with a gun, and the guy's like, chill out, man. Like, there's nothing to steal here. You want a cup of tea? Like, and he takes him aside and just starts talking about his own anarchist agenda, and he's like, I wish I was there when Whitman shot all those people. And I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, and it's just like, it's still like people, and even as crazy as that is, it's such like a nice gesture in a way to not, scream and yell and cause and escalate a conflict. He works it out.
Yeah.
And then, and it's just people communicating it that way. Like, there's the guy, when the two girls leave and they're going to another bar where there's a show, and the guy's just standing there outside drinking his beer, and he's like, I got a stamp here. And back in the 90s, like, you could get stamped and you could lick it and stamp somebody else so they didn't have to pay the cover.
Yeah.
Like, real fun things like that, and it's just remembering how things used to be.
Do you want to see Blowout?
A blow-up.
You want to see Blow-Up? And it's like, I like photography, not movies. And he's like, well, it is photography. And it's
just
like,
24 times a second. Like, it's so...
after discussing it with someone like this, I'm kind of growing to like it a little more.
Yeah.
I still would not watch it. It would not be a movie I watch all the time.
No.
A lot of Linklater movies I can't really watch all the time.
Except School of Rock.
Make it happen. School of Rock. Touche.
But yeah, it's a great it's a great movie. It has real naturalistic dialogue. It has like a weird kind of flow to things. And it does work when you watch it, and you just start noticing, like, we effortlessly start following another character, and then we move to another, like, there's the couple that are arguing about what to do for the day, and stay inside or go out somewhere, and there's kids watching them. And then you follow the kids, and then the kids take you to the guys throwing stuff off the bridge, and that takes you to...
It's just like, take the baton for the race, until you get to the finish line.
But it's a way of, like, really illustrating how pervasive that feeling is. It's like I always thought of this movie, and a great companion piece is actually Beavis and Butthead. It's so many things from the late 80s, early 90s that kind of fit. And
it's a time capsule.
Yeah, and it really works. Like I said, it's Beavis and Butthead just has more of a fixed cast. You're just following those two kids.
Yeah.
But with Slacker, you're following all these different people throughout Austin, and they all kind of are the same.
Yeah.
And they all kind of just wander
and talk
and just do. And they're all, like, the one thing that's a little heavy-handed is the conspiracy ideas and the super, like, philosophical questions. But, I mean, it did happen. People did have that. Like, there was somebody with the oblique strategies deck.
If a dude followed me from, like, a shop, like a coffee shop, I'd be so angry. Get away from me. But he follows him for blocks.
Oh, you're talking about the one who's
the guy with the Batman
talking
shirt.
about the moon?
The guy with the Batman shirt. So buy, rent, or skip?
I love it. It's a buy for me.
You know
I tried to buy it once. Did I ever tell you the story when I tried to buy Slacker and came home and found it was a super scratched up copy of Half Baked?
I'd say... I'd say rent. Give it a shot.
I can understand that.
It's just you might not like it, but it's a movie I feel like people gotta see.
Yeah.
To know you might like, you might love it. You might be like, I'm kind of like most of the characters in the movie. Like,
yeah, for me, like that's a huge personal bias that I would say buy. I could totally understand someone who says rent.
Now,
just watch it once.
Now, would you buy a really scratched up version of Half Baked?
No, I would buy a pristine copy of Half Baked.
Okay. Whoa.
Like, I get why the Half Baked was in the box.
It would make more sense.
It makes sense.
It would make more sense if it was Dazed and Confused.
That's another movie we could talk about at a different time.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on Slacker? What's your favorite character of Slacker? What was your favorite character of Slacker?
Like favorite character we follow?
Yes.
I would say... I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think the old man. I think the old man who wanted to be at the Whitman shooting.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's a very interesting guy.
It's hard to top like the Linklater character. Because it's like he just like rambles. He sets the tone on how much talking there is.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Linklater character. I think it could have been played by somebody a little better, but yeah, that's just me.
But yeah, like that's our thoughts. Comment section. What's your thoughts, suggestions? Because we are doing a suggestion pick in 2 weeks. So you have another week.
I think next week is my pick.
Yes, I'm intrigued in what yours is going to be. You usually pick.
I play close to the chest, folks. He doesn't know yet.
Yeah, you usually do like the philosophical things, like
yeah, and you picked Slacker, so I don't have to do that.
Yeah. Well, I already know my pick for next month, and you're gonna hate it.
Oh shit.
But yeah, like let us know in the comment section below, all that stuff, feedback, all kinds of things. So until next time, Joe's not gonna tell you what his pick is, so you'll have to find out next week. I guess I'll find out next week too.
Yeah.
Well, I should have to watch it.
It'll be a surprise.
You have to tell me.
I'm not even going to tell you on the podcast.
Oh, okay. You're not even going to tell me until we film the Criterion next week.
Yeah, until we
watch this movie. Go watch it.
And it's
okay, I'll watch it in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Is there cliff notes on it? So yeah. So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we will see you later.